Hey folks, it's time for yet another custom lesson. This one has been requested by Jaye Gamer, and first things first, hopefully you like the attire. I hope your little brother is happy with the fashion request that I saw you listed in the comments. So yeah, it's all here, as you asked. I have to admit, the Tengu mask does look kind of funny to me though. In any case, let's get started with this request. So you wanted an all-rounder combo mad practice build, weapons being Tonfa and Hatchets. Guardian Spirit Soul Cores and enemies can be whatever I want. So I made sure to have a lot of fun with this. Let me show you the weapons that I'm using. So you can see a Demon Heart Tonfa. You don't need to get this, and one thing I will state is that the anima bonus, this stuff is not required. It's not. None of this is required this time, and I'll explain why. You can see though that I have quite a lot, in my opinion, premium stats for me. Of course, anima bonus on grapple is great. Skill key consumption, key damage, life drain, active skill, it's the usual stuff I like. But why am I saying this isn't necessary? And that's because of the guardian spirits I pick and what synergies I go with. So I go with Rokugezo. Alright, Rokugezo has anima bonus timely guard. So does Aberrant Soldier. On any timely guard, you will get at least 5.6 anima back. You don't need anima generation because fact of the matter is sometimes you'll just accidentally block and still get a timely guard. And then you get 5.6 anima. And if they happen to hit you multiple times in that brief moment, you'll get pretty much all your anima back. I've had that happen on many enemies. And so that can really facilitate the yokai ability damage force boost, which basically means when you're at full anima, you get bonus damage. So yeah, it can be pretty crazy. Anima is not a concern. So for that reason, Aberrant Soldier, which is a great quick cancel core, strongly advise getting this to rank 30. It is super good. It's just, yeah, get it to rank 30. Next we have Seto Taisho. So I wanted to illustrate using a soul core for multiple purposes. And Seto Taisho is very good at dealing AoE damage, AoE key damage, and it can body block, which can be really freaking helpful. Aside from that, the last core that I have picked, and by the way, you don't need to max out this rank, but there is, I guess, some toughness they share, which is cool. But last but not least, I went with Tate Eboshi. This is a very tricky core for many people to use, but it is absolutely powerful when you know how to use it. And so I think just these cores alone already encourage you to try to approach the game in a creative way. At least they do for me, which is why I picked it. All I cared for stat-wise, aside from the Soul Core rank of 30 and Aberrant Soldier, was Yokai Ability Key Pulse. You can feel free to get premium stats and whatever you want, but I'm not particularly interested in that because I don't want to farm. That's just what it boils down to. But yeah, this is pretty crazy. So these are the three cores that I've picked. Now what about the secondary Guardian Spirit? Hyobishin is just a fun one for me, so I went with that. And then right away, I'm sure you noticed, what the heck, Giant Toad? Are you out of your damn mind? Yes, but also no at the same time. Giant Toad is one of the most awkward cores for anybody to use, but being able to know when to use this, in my opinion, really opens up so many options with all sorts of soul cores. Giant Toad costs the exact same anima as Ippon does, but it is significantly more powerful. Even though the animation is really long, I can tell you this. If you can find a reasonably good way or safe way to throw out Giant Toad, it is absolutely crazy. Alright, straight up crazy. And I will make sure to showcase that and give you a couple of ways in which you can take advantage of it so that it actually feels really powerful. It's a very difficult core to use, as can be Tate Eboshi, but being able to know how to use them just opens up so many avenues for your combo-based play. Next, we have Ancient Nyotengu, which kind of works in a similar capacity. It is kind of expensive. You may notice that we have overall expensive cores, excluding Aberrant Soldier. But Ancient Nyotengu for 7 anima, it is so good against humans. You know, enemies like Saito Toshimitsu who like to block, well, you can basically loop them if you use Ancient Nyotengu well. And I will, of course, show some things you can do to make sure that it really basically zero-key combos opponents who have a tendency to block. It's pretty awesome. Last but not least, Waira. I wanted a core to basically be there as an offensive sort of, oh shit, I need to get out of combat type deal. Waira is usually passed up in favor of Ongyoki. Ongyoki is faster, but Waira is far more aggressive, and I think I covered that in the Soul Core guide. So yeah, being able to know how to use this to pressure your opponents and then coming back up to smash them is really awesome. But let's just get on to Yokai Shift stuff. and then you'll see what all the rage is about. Alright, let's see. Double stomp. That's pretty devastating. And there you go. It can be pretty ridiculous. Alright, brute form. Brute form's kind of fun. Let's go, Giant Toad. Lick the targets to death. Just giving you ideas. Right after a parry, don't even go for the follow-up. Go for Giant Toad. Might as well Giant Toad an enemy on the ground. So yeah, it can be quite powerful. But obviously Yokai Shift isn't necessarily what you're going to practice in at all times. It's most likely going to be based on just normal combat with your weapons. So timely guards are going to be your friend. And you can generate so much anima, it's kind of crazy. I mean, yeah, it's pretty devastating, isn't it? There you go. Just some examples. Let's show you some other combos that you can work with. Come on. Come on. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Very nice. And see, of course, you can block them with Seto Taisho, which feels really good too. Ow. Thank you. Alright, let's see damage output of Tate Eboshi. That's pretty large. It's pretty crazy. And the fact that it just like smashes and staggers everything in an area of effect is not something to underestimate. Come on, let's try this again. Giant Toad time. That's pretty good, isn't it? See, there you go. Being able to use these soul cores and pretty much guarantee that they'll hit is pretty crazy. Now what you got, dude? Will this hit? It does. Pretty cool. I think the wall actually helped me there. But yeah, this is very anti-human because they do a lot of parryable attacks. So you can turn that into a measure to counter all sorts of opponents. Giant Toad! Please delete all the ki. That's a lot of ki damage, isn't it? Here we go! Very nice. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's see what else I can come up with. Come on. Ah. Dodge away, thank you. Fell for it, dude. Look at that, 50% of damage dealt. It's great, isn't it? Just being able to pretty much guarantee all these things. Giant Toad is not the best against blocking humans, so I would only really advise doing it when they're low on ki or out of ki, so you can zero ki combo them with it. And then, as you can see, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, let me show another thing with Giant Toad. What do we got? Not bad, right? Not bad at all. Alright, let's see what else I can do. Thank you for dodging away. See, it doesn't matter if they dodge away. Tate Eboshi can usually catch them off guard. Positioning is critical to the ability. Alright, let me see if I can showcase some Seto Taisho funsies. Well, that works too. Alright, I'm pretty sure this target's dead. Not bad, huh? Alright, one more thing from each of them, and then I think we'll just get onto the gameplay showcase. Oh, for real? Felt bad. Oh well. I thought Tate Eboshi would have hit. It missed. But it was a cool idea. Oh, messed that up. Thank you for taking the hit. I took the hit there. Ah. Very nice. And close enough. But yeah, I think enough in the dojo. I think you'll probably just want to see this in action, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the gameplay showcase. So I will see you guys momentarily. Alright, if you want to see this combo mat practice stuff put to the test, well, I picked arguably one of the craziest scrolls, period. And this will involve a purple ancient Nyotengu with this setup, so if you want to be able to practice and go nutty, this is probably one of the best scrolls for it, because it not only involves a lot of agile opponents, but you also deal with quite a few enemies at the same time. So you've got Ubumes who are very agile, Gakis who are just nuisances, and then some human opponents which come in. So you can really practice quite a sufficient amount against these enemies. Looks like I just decided to throw out Yokai Shift because I don't want to deal with this Ubume. And then using all my different tools, look at that, just making sure I'm murdering these things, and it just feels exquisite. Okay, Big Gaki, I hate you. So I kind of have this thing where I will specifically aim to obliterate them as quick as possible, but I will not use certain soul cores. So I use Giant Toad there, but I'm not licking that thing, man. I'm not licking those Gakis. They can go die in a fire. Alright, I was hoping to play with Phantom, didn't work out, but that's okay. We've got to work with some human-based Revenants, and they can be pretty tricky, except not with this setup. And as you can see, look at this guy, murdered, pretty murdered. Nothing he can do. And yeah, a lot of pressure with this setup, and it's a lot of fun when you can weave with it. It's not necessarily dependent upon elemental stuff. You can, of course, switch out things if you feel the need. But yeah, I didn't even bother. And then here we go, Tate Eboshi, please kill. Thank you. A lot of damage, excellent. Alright, look at all that anima I got back. Oh, he interrupted me, that sucked. Oh well, guess what I'm gonna do? Tate Eboshi, look at that. Ooh, glorious amount of damage. And then let's just ruin them to pieces. Excellent. Alright, we've got a little Gaki over there. Just make sure to kill him really quickly. Again, these Gakis are never really a threat. They're just pretty much nuisances. Right now, I'm more concerned about other enemies that you may not know are on this map, and that is a Tengu. So, yeah, I just want to kill the little weaklings so that I can focus on the big enemies. And then I'm getting very close. And take him out! Thank you! Okay, whew! That was a little scary. I didn't have the most ki. Alright, Tengus again aren't too bad compared to many other enemies. Alright, I'm waiting for it to burst. Excellent. Countered that. Let's use in some moves. Alright, timely guard. Oh, actually, I switched over to a different spirit. Not too bad. Oh boy. Giant Toad. Whew! Carry me! Alright, excellent. It helped. It wasn't the most effective in that point, but truth be told, I kind of used it in a very panic capacity. Alright, now I need to be wary of what the next move is. I'm anticipating a burst attack. Nope, I am wrong, but I did get that panic blocked, which helped me regen anima, and basically ensured a free Seto Taisho. You know what I was talking about when it comes to getting that free anima without really intending to? This was a perfect example of that. Alright, Giant 2, thank you for your work. Excellent. Doing a lot of overkill damage. Let's go. Let's see what else I got. Waira to help me avoid a couple of things, get under the target. I didn't get to stagger it perfectly, which is okay. And then, alright, let's go. Almost done with this Raven Tengu, but things are gonna get crazy now. So purple ancient Nyotengu is the next enemy. And so yeah, if you really want someone to practice against and feel good practicing against, this is probably the best enemy to do that. So Nyotengu is an enemy that naturally stresses everybody out. There's no exception to this, because she has very long drawn out attack chains that seem to basically never ever end. Alright, and her burst attacks are maybe arguably the easiest thing about her, and that's, again, not saying much. This fireball attack, believe it or not, you can use Seto Taisho to block it. I don't know if I demonstrate that here, but I've encountered that many times, where Seto Taisho just blocks it, does a good amount of ki damage, and is a great punish for that fireball attack, alongside all sorts of things. So right now I'm just being wary. The thing with Nyotengu is that if you overextend, she punishes you so hard. I mean, look at this, like, I just wasn't able to, for the longest time, able to do anything until I got her out of ki, so I had to be very careful. And so what's really important about this fight is maintaining a rhythm. Soul cores like Tate Eboshi actually work really well after she does burst attacks. It was a very surprising find for me, in all honesty, because I would have thought it wouldn't have been safe. Like, you're going to see me do that as often as I can when I have the anima to spare. This is probably one of the very few moments in which you actually have some free time to attackers, when she summons her clones and does her soul core attack. Alright, so I'm going to try to take advantage of a couple of things. Ooh, very nice. I used Tate Eboshi a little late, I just wasn't used to it, but it does a good amount of damage against this very tanky ancient Niotengu. And so now I'm just trying to get her flow on ki. I'm kind of messing up, which is unfortunate, but that's alright. I'm going to stagger her, use Tate Eboshi when I can, because I know my yokai shift's about to expire. And so I just need to be wary for that specific burst attack. And then I think I'm going to queue up a giant toad in a moment. Yep, look at this. It's perfect in this situation. Does a good chunk of damage and allows me to get a grapple and just keep that rhythm that I'm talking about going. It's so important. Waira is a pretty good offensive escape tool. I get lucky, admittedly, pulling off the burst counter, but here's a piece of advice I can give you when you're fighting Nyotengu. So she does have really crazy long animations, but there are a couple of tricks here and there that can really facilitate, or I guess reduce the difficulty in this fight. And that is, try to stick more to her side. Don't really try to face her head on. She's from a fighting game and she fights exactly like that, so she's really quick. There are a couple of moves that she has, but that can be crazy normally. But again, if you stick to the side and try to bait out these long animations and then hit her during some of those moments, then you'll have a much easier time. So that's generally the strategy I would advise, I would recommend, is kind of not staying in front of her and then just being on the lookout for opportunities when she's stuck in otherwise very long animations. Of course, weapons like Tonfas can be really helpful to animation cancel courtesy of Demon Dance, and so it's just, again, it does require a lot of focus, but it's something that you can definitely practice towards and get better at with time. And I can say, when you can pull off moments like, I guess, dealing with this enemy at all, it's not even moments like dealing with her, it's just if you can pull off dealing with her, it can be immensely satisfying to be able to just triumph against her. She's a very challenging opponent, and this setup I find really allows me to deal with her pretty effectively. I think it might be almost like my new setup of stuff where I use all sorts of crazy soul cores and whatnot, but I'm not sure. I know I do like Rokugezo quite a bit with all this stuff. It definitely feels very rewarding to weave in these things together. Look at this, unsaved Giant Toad, still did okay. Alright, here's one moment where I can kind of punish her, but I'm on the lookout for a burst attack because I'm anticipating it coming. Oh boy, there's this move, I haven't seen that in some time. So I'm just creating distance with Hatchets, which does facilitate things quite a bit. And then here we go, excellent. Oh, I didn't use Tate Eboshi. That was something that I wanted to have done. Alright, Giant Toad will definitely completely eliminate all of her ki and enable me to get back into Yokai Shift. So I'm overall able to maintain a good amount of control in this fight, and that is definitely something that's exquisite. Ah, Waira, thank you for being so clutch. Alright, I know I'm going to run out of Yokai Shift. I'm just going to use Giant Toad. It is totally safe in that moment. And then how am I going to take her out? Might as well just use Giant Toad again. So yeah, that's overall pretty crazy, and these soul cores worked surprisingly well. In any case, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I will, of course, see you guys next time.